Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Oh, we can do better than that. We're large in number. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Much more like it. Excellent to see all of you here. Welcome to everybody on the stream. Also, welcome to Daniel Perlman from the Federation and some treasured guests from Israel who will be giving our Devar tonight. We'll begin today with a little nigun in E minor that transitions into Hine Matov, which you'll find on page 128. We welcome Shabbat now with the kindling of the Sabbath lights. I'd like to invite the Rudies forward to kindle the lights as we turn in the prayer book to pages 120 and 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Asher Kiddushanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We'll continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemen hava Bi'alma divorach yidute v'hamlich machute
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב והימרו אמן. יהי שמך המבורך לעולם ולעלמי יתברך וישתבח ויצבח ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקדושה בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבקתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא והימרו amen.
Please rise for the call to worship the Baruch Hu, found on page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, le'olam va'ed.
Let's read together on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Avat olam, Bet Yisrael.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו נטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם לכל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's read together in the English. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. And now on page 157, let's read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
כיפר אדוני את יעקב, וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Let's read together on the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise now for tefillah, beginning on page 164.
Adonai, Savatai Tiftachu fi Agitihilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Socher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gehula Livnei V'nem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Azrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'Halam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mechachel Chaim be'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol be'Rachamim Rabim, Emiz u'makaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'neheman ata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mikayeh hakol Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalalu chasela Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. We continue on page 173, and let's read this responsively. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, but gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living. The walls of your temple are not shelters for the winds of truth, justice, and honor. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Let's join together in reading on page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, ato shimcha ulacha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon bechol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon bechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Betul benecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה ישמרך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Let's read together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment now at this time in the service to ask God's blessing and God's healing for those in our congregation, in our community, our extended families, suffering from illness of body, mind, or spirit. At this time, please feel free to share any names of people you are thinking of at this particular moment tonight. Mackenzie Pigman, Dave Saltzman,
Let's join together now in singing our prayer for healing to Misha Berach, found in the middle of page 371.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pause now for a moment of personal silent prayer and meditation. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the Bima Daniel Perlman from the Jewish Federation of Greater Toledo and some dear friends from Israel to share with us some messages and inspiration and hope.
Thank you so much. Hello, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am so honored to introduce three amazing friends from Israel. We have Dan, Shirley, and Michael from our partnership region. Raise your hand if you know what partnership is, partnership together. So here in Toledo, our Jewish community is paired with a region in Israel, in the north of Israel, called the Western Galilee. And I won't share that much about it because I want the Israelis to speak a little bit more about it. I think one in particular, Michael, is going to be doing most of the speaking. So without further ado, please, Michael, thank you.
So, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And I wish to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak before you today. And of course to bear greetings from our region. As explained before, the Western Galilee and the city of Akko are part of the partnership together with 17 communities here in the States, of which Toledo is one of them, and I should say one of the first to be part of the partnership. The partnership is built on personal connections between people from the communities with people from the regions, from our region, from the Western Galilee and Akko, and those personal connections cause a closeness that cannot be achieved otherwise. I think despite the fact that we are situated a few thousand kilometers away from America and from Toledo, there are a lot of things that connect us together, and I think by sharing with you my personal family history, I think I will be able to explain it a little better. For those of you who have a keen ear, you can obviously detect my English accent. It's hard to hide. Yes, I was born in London. My family made Aliyah to Israel when I was 10 years old in 1963, coming up 60 years ago. The past 60 years I've been living in the Western Galilee in a village called Regba, kibbutz. But the story of my family is probably pretty common to many of you, maybe even here in Toledo. In the latter part of the 19th century, probably somewhere around 1885, 1890, my great-grandfather, who lived in a small village little north of Warsaw called Zachachin. It was a shtetl. He was shidduched to a wife, and he was a young guy, and he decided that he was not going to tolerate the anti-Semitism, the degradation that goes with it, and he decided to get out, as did hundreds of thousands of Jews like him from all that area of Eastern Europe, and he sought to find the cheapest ticket he could afford in order to come here to America. And he collected kopeka to kopeka until he could afford the cheapest ticket. He boarded with his new wife the ship somewhere in Romania, Constanța, and he got on this ship and he was on his way to America, to Ellis Island. And when the ship entered London port, the captain said, "We arrived," and they got off. They had no idea where they were. And this is a story, not necessarily the fact that they didn't know where they were coming, but this is a story that is probably part of around 150,000 Jews that emigrated from Eastern Europe to England at the time. Eventually, when I think to myself of my personal family who eventually we found our way to Israel, But probably the difference between myself and yourselves sitting here today might amount to maybe somewhere around $50 of the time. If they had that few extra pennies, and if they understood a bit more what was going on, they probably would be here in America via Ellis Island, and probably I might have found myself sitting your side and somebody else here speaking. So this is something that I always bear in mind in terms of what's the difference between you and us? So little, so by chance that things developed one way and not the other. And I should say that all those that at the time did not get out of Zakhatin were exterminated during the Holocaust, of course, as again were hundreds of thousands of millions of people coming from that area at that time. I think in these troubled times in Israel, which you obviously all are aware of the divide, of the controversy, of the tension, internal tension, which obviously finds its way through all the medias to your ears and eyes. And one of the issues which causes a divide in Israel, and maybe not only in Israel, is the issue of Ashkenazi Sfaradi. Are you Ashkenazi? Are you Sfaradi? Now, the vast majority of American Jewry are Ashkenazi. But there is a divide, at least in Israel, and I can say with a strong sense of optimism that this is a divide which is finding its solution. And the solution, I can explain how it finds its solution through, again, my personal story. I myself am married for the past 43 years. My wife is from Moroccan descent. I have 4 kids. My oldest daughter, who is herself half Moroccan, is married to a guy from Syrian descent, Jewish Syrian descent, of course. My second son is married to a Yemenite. My third son is married to an Iraqi. And my fourth son is married to a Yemenite. So my grandkids, which I should say I have 9 of them, when they ask themselves, what are we? Who knows to give them an answer? They are, and I always told them, you are what you choose to be. You want to be Ashkenazi, you can be Ashkenazi, you can justify it. You want to be Sfaradi, you can prove and justify it. So with all the issues that can cause a split, a divide, a controversy, an argument, here's one that's finding its own solution. And on the accord of that point for optimism, I wish to end my words and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. May we all be blessed to look beyond divides as your family has. Amen. That's beautiful. It's time for announcements now. So we have our friendly board representative, Lauren Sachs, and Temple President Janine Huttner. You've abdicated responsibility. Wow. Not that I'm saying you're Temple President now.
No, thank you. I'm Lauren Sachs, a member of the Temple Board. As Andy was saying, I want to share a few announcements. The flowers on the bima this evening are in loving memory of Susie Wittenberg from the Wittenberg family. The Kiddush this evening is in loving memory of our mothers, Margie Schur, Irma Schwartz, and Irene Miller from the Bucky, Schwab, and Albert families. There is a concert coming up, a Beethoven concert, Sunday, April 23rd, this Sunday at 3 p.m. We welcome back piano soloists Nano Berea, I'm guessing on the pronunciation, and Malik Halsey. I'm hoping I got it right. Yes, okay. Our piano duo from the November concert for an afternoon of Beethoven sonatas. Not to be missed, and please come and bring a friend.
And there's
Also,
food after.
and there's
So
food.
There's
Yes.
reception, so there you go.
We have to eat. Okay, time to get your reservations in to join Rabbi Gibson for a few events. First of all, coffee with the clergy on Friday, April 28th at 10:30 a.m. Parsha and prayer, Saturday, April 29th at 10:30 a.m. Picnic in the park, Saturday, April 29th as well at 12:30 p.m., which is going to be at Secor Park, and lunch will be provided. And then there is a lunch and learn Sunday, April 30th at noon. So please check your April bulletin for details. Lastly, please join us for Kiddush in the hallway, where we will have an opportunity to greet each other. And now I'm going to pretend to be Janine. No, just kidding. This is what Janine was going to share with you. We are also spearheading a temple initiative to get signatures for an amendment to the Ohio Constitution titled The Right to Reproductive Freedom and Protection for Health and Safety. So your signatures would certainly be helpful to ensure that this can be placed on the ballot. Janine will be available after Kiddush for signatures. You must be a registered voter in Ohio to participate, and of course, if you have already signed another petition, you can't do so again. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. So now we turn to our concluding prayers, which begin on page 586 as we rise for the Aleinu. Please be seated. Let's read together on page 589. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on the earth, and the word of your prophet be fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, u'shemo echad, u'shemo on page 595. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can only tell us what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us now alone must become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. In each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life, now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. At this sacred time in our liturgy, we think lovingly and longingly of those who have been taken from us in recent days and weeks. We name also at this time those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose passing, occurs on this Shabbat. We recall Dr. Abel Applebaum, Jan M. Barkan, Ruth Breslau, Gerald Jerry Cooper, Alvin Dixon, Ina Fetterman, Pauline Feit, Norma Fishbein, Ben Fleischer, Sheldon Frankel, Dr. Harold Gross, Adele Himmler, Bertha W. Jacobs, Ida Jaffe, Sadie Kobacker, Leonora Leiserman, Morris H. Lempert, Ronald David Levi, Morris C. Lobert, Irene Miller, Etta Miller, Mark Lawrence Miller, Anthony Parker, Harry Parnas, Louis Podlish, Henry R. Porras, Hyman A. Posner, Irma Schwartz, Mary Schulman, Margie Schur, Jeffrey Steinberg, Claire Thal, Roy Truhaft, Alfred S. Weinberg, and Susie Wittenberg. We rise now and sanctify the name of God with the words of the Kaddish, found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabah, b'yalama divrach edute v'yamlich machute, b'hayechon uv'yumechon uv'hayed achol bet Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kariv v'imiru omein, Yehi shemei rabah mevarach le'elam ulalmei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudashah berichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tu'ushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who are bereaved and give comfort to everybody both here and everywhere, as together we say, amen. We remain standing for a final hymn in light of brethren and sisters from Israel and in memory of Yom HaShoah that was just observed this week. We will end with Hatikva on page 678. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please join us in the hall for Kiddush.